recording progress, just in case I say something intelligent. Okay. And if I don't say something intelligent, we'll just delete it. It's done. What this gal, Heidi Harris in North Carolina, what she's most known for amongst people within the local real estate community is she built up a following on Instagram and used that Instagram following and her presence on there to generate business. Now, and she's done this over the last couple of years to where she said in 2020, according to her, that she ended up getting almost $10 million worth of sales in 2020 from leads and stuff she got directly from Instagram. Okay, now some of that is just a way of staying in touch with their database. Some of it's from actual leads, different things along those lines. So, but what she did is she was kind enough to really lay out her blueprint on how she was able to build a following on Instagram and then also be able to how to generate leads and things along those lines, following up with those leads. And so what I thought we would do today is review the blueprint that she laid out, which is kind of neat because we're coming off the Mike Ferry retreat where it was all about blueprints. So the blueprint that she laid out on how she was able to generate so much business on Instagram. Okay, so I want to go over that today. Now, before I start, just as make sure everybody's in the know, because I know normally, I said this earlier, but I know a couple other people jumped on. Normally Jocelyn's here at 3:30 doing a class and she's very sharp and very savvy. She is working, okay, but she got her second shot this morning, so she was feeling a little bit under the weather. Not enough to where she wanted to present a class, okay? But she is still working. I talked to her a little bit earlier today. So if you need her, definitely reach out to her. She's happy to help you with anything that you're looking to do with your marketing pieces and things along those lines. She's done some really cool things recently. All right, but without further ado, let's jump into this. So the basic story, again, of this gal, Heidi Harris, she moved from Maryland to North Carolina. She had a very small center of influence. But what she did is she had a passion, she had an excitement for real estate, and she had to figure out, how do I take this, despite I don't know anybody, and build something out of that? So obviously there's prospecting and doing other things, but she really wanted to focus on Instagram. And she started out with really only a couple hundred followers. So I bring that up now because some of you who don't have an Instagram account, or maybe have one but don't have any followers, or only have a couple followers, you might be thinking like, well, yeah, but she probably already started out with a big following with people she knows. She didn't. She started out with a couple hundred followers, and she just did it little by little, follower by follower. Okay, and then got more engaged and things along those lines. So that's really how she did it. So this is, again, another story, which is very long, even though this is social media. The premise is very Mike Ferry-like, in that there's nothing special about special people. These are just regular people. You can do everything that they're doing. So that's kind of the basis and the background of this. But she said, here's the key that, and we'll go over the blueprint, but one of the things she was talking about in just her opening to talking about the blueprint is that the key to getting business on social media is that you have to be social on social media. So you'll see that a little bit in her blueprint. So let's jump into this. So again, this is Heidi Harris, real estate agent from North Carolina, who's built a great amount of business using Instagram. This is her blueprint for success in terms of building that in on Instagram. Okay, so the first thing she starts out by talking is start by maximizing your profile. Start by maximizing your profile. The first thing she put under start by maximizing your profile is this: begin by making sure your profile creates a great first impression for your audience. Begin by making sure your profile creates a great first impression for your audience. If you're just starting out, you can establish your account as a personal account, a business account, or a creator account, though most people will choose either the personal or the business option. She changed to the creator option as she became more advanced. So for those of you that are just starting out, either have a personal account or a business account, but as you start getting more and more followers, as you start doing more and more content, you might want to look at changing it to a creator account, because that gives you more ability to do things with your profile. Okay. So make sure that you have a great first impression from your audience. The second thing under maximizing your profile is help people connect with you. Help people connect with you. So you can ensure people connect with you from your Instagram account using the link option in your account profile. So when you set up an account, one of the things is you can have a link to your profile. Okay. And then although Instagram only allows one website link, there is a workaround. Linker allows users to house multiple links via the one link option allowed in Instagram, which helps people connect to you in various places such as social media platforms, landing pages, or any other specific locations you'd like them to access. So there's a Jocelyn actually does this. She shows you how to do that. It's called Linktree. Okay. So what Linktree is, and this is, again, talk to Jocelyn about this. She knows more about this. So what she's talking about here is on Instagram, on your profile, you can have a link, and that link could be to anything, could be in regards to your profile page or anything along those lines. So unlike some other platforms, Instagram only allows you to do one particular link. So it has to be to your website, for example, or it has to be to your Facebook page, or whatever the case may be. Some other platforms allow you to put multiple links. What Linktree allows you to do is that it allows you to put a link to Linktree. So my link on Instagram might be, for example, to my Linktree, Robert Hertel Linktree account. What that does is now it pulls up all of the multiple links to everywhere they can get in touch with you, your website, your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your LinkedIn page, or whatever other links you want to send them to. So it's the idea here is help people connect with you in a variety of different platforms. And that's one little workaround that you can do, is utilizing Linktree, okay, as the link in your Instagram account. Okay, so if you need help with that, Jocelyn's actually done that for a few of you. Some of you might even be on here. I know she's done that for a few people as Linktree. So set up some time with her and she can help you do that. Okay. All right, very good. So, but utilize that. The goal is you have to help people connect with you. Okay, they have to be able to find you. They have to be able to do things on multiple platforms. You'll notice that a lot of people who are your followers on Instagram, for example, tend to be your friends on Facebook, or tend to be people you connect with on LinkedIn. It all seems connected. So the more that you connect with people on the various platforms, the easier it is. So make it easy for them to do that on your Instagram account. All right, the third thing you write down on maximizing your profiles: build a compelling description. Build a compelling description. For people who don't know you, the description on your page serves as a resume to help them learn more about you. People make decisions on whether or not they follow someone very quickly. Make sure your description draws people in with who you authentically are. So number one is make sure that you have a description. Okay. Number two, make sure your description is interesting. It's full of information. It talks about who you are, not just Robert Hertel, real estate agent. That's not compelling because there's 1.3 million real estate agents in the country. So real estate agent isn't enough. You're realtor for life. Okay. Come up with something interesting, but have a compelling description about yourself, who you are, right? Who you authentically are is what she had said. So yeah, people do go based on who they're going to follow very quickly. Your description could have a lot to do with that. So again, you're noticing this in regards to it all starts with the foundation and building the profile. Okay, we haven't even gotten to the content yet. It's about starting. You have to have the foundation, your profile. Okay, make sure your profile creates a great first impression. Make sure your profile has something Linktree so people can connect with you on a variety of different platforms. Have a compelling description. And then the fourth thing she put down on maximizing your profile is snap an attention-getting photo. snap an attention-getting photo. So she said colors like yellow, orange, and green grab people's attention. So take a picture of yourself wearing an eye-catching color for your profile. Once you've optimized your profile, it's time to work on the type of content that will both be entertaining and educate your ideal client. So your photo. So she's saying colors like yellow, orange, and green typically grab people's attention. So look, you don't have to necessarily, I don't own anything yellow. Okay, I got nothing yellow. Okay, orange, green, I got a few, Irish. Okay, what are you gonna do? But the point is, have a photo that's somewhat decent, that's colorful, that pops. Don't have a black and white photo. Don't have a photo that's all grizzled. Don't have a photo from 1976. Okay. Don't have a photo that's like a selfie that's kind of at a bad angle. Take a real photo, make it like your headshot, essentially. Something that's colorful, that's popping. So those are the 4 things. Again, it all starts again with the profile. Make sure you build a really great profile. And then she says, once you've optimized your profile, then it's time to get to the content. Okay. So let's move into that. Okay. So now in regards to content, she writes down here on her blueprint, differentiate your content. Differentiate your content.
Excuse me, Robert, you didn't share any screen, right?
What's that?
Did you share anything? I didn't see the screen.
No, I didn't share anything.
Oh, okay.
So differentiate your content. The posts on an Instagram account stay there forever unless you delete them, and the stories are only available for 24 hours unless you add them to your highlights. Build the content on your page so that they'll get something worthwhile if someone does a deep dive and they'll learn more about you. Okay, so for inspiration, find ways to make real estate conversational and approachable. Use the content that provides a feedback for your audience in your feed, so people provides a takeaway for your audience in your feed, so people come back to it, and use your stories for storytelling. Position yourself as a resource for your audience. So an example of that would be asking questions. So when you're creating a story on Instagram, for those of you that don't know the difference between a story and a post, we can go over that in a different particular case. But if you're posting a story, one of the things that you can do when you post a story is you can ask a question. Because what that does is it creates engagement for the people that are watching your story. And it could be anything. Okay. So for example, you could have a picture of 3 different types of kitchens, and you could say, which one do you prefer? You could write a question of, what's a question you've always wanted to ask a real estate agent? Okay, you could have polls, you could have all these other different things. Okay, you can have pictures of 2 different types of houses, 2 different layouts. Which one do you prefer, A or B? Anything that keeps the conversation going. It's all about making real estate conversational and approachable. So on part of that is when you're talking about your content is know your target audience. So for example, if you're building an Instagram following for Kavina, you can't only be posting about these wonderful homes down in Beverly Hills, because to your local audience, you're not making it conversational and approachable. They don't relate to that. Now, not to say that you can't, if you have a sale out there, if you previewed it, if you're posting something motivational every so often, it's fine. But what you can't do is just do that. And I see accounts like this all the time. Look at this wonderful home overlooking Laguna Niguel or all these other different things. And I look at the agent's profile and they're based in like El Monte. So, well, the people that you're following that you're in your group can't relate to this $8 million home in Laguna Niguel. And then the next post is a property in Marina del Rey or something up in Santa Barbara, and it's like, again, your following can't relate to that. So you could do that sometimes, but you're not making your post conversational and approachable. So you have to know your market a little bit. On the reverse, if you are based in an area that's a beach community, okay, and that's kind of your following is the high end, if you're a Beverly Hills, for example, type agent, and that's your following is in this Beverly Hills, West LA type of area, and you're posting about, oh, look at this cottage home, you know, out in Victorville. I don't care. So you have to know your audience a little bit too. But I think that's a great line, is it has to be conversational and approachable. So use your stories to do things like that. Use your posts to do that. The goal is that with these posts and your stories is you're getting people to be able to take a quick look to say, I like this, let me dive into it. If they can't relate to it or they can't converse with it, they're not going to dive into it. Okay, that's kind of the basis of what she's talking about here. And use your stories for storytelling. Okay, tell something interesting in this short little video clip that you have on your stories. Make it worthwhile. So she goes on to say here, if you're stumped on what to share, follow agents like her who do it well. So follow other agents. We've had agents on here before, like Christoph Chu, it's a Beverly Hills agent that does really well on social media. Follow him, see what he's posting. Heidi Harris, again, is the agent that we're talking about here in North Carolina. Follow her, see what she's doing. Okay, there's Ben Fisher in Long Beach that seems to be very popular. What is he doing? Okay, don't be afraid to follow people to see what they're doing well. Okay, we do it with real estate agents all the time, is we ask the question, well, what does Bernie Gallerini do well to get so much business? Well, it's the same thing with social media. Follow some of these people, see what they do really well. But right down here, avoid copying what these other agents do unless it fits who you generally are. So don't just copy and paste, essentially. Use their posts as inspiration to find your voice and your audience. Odds are if specific posts the other agents use intrigue you, then they more than likely will intrigue your ideal customer as well. So don't just copy and paste. Use it as inspiration. Oh, I like that. That's a great question that they asked. Oh, that's a great way that they posted that. Oh, I'm actually engaged. I'm going through their feed. Well, what are they posting that has you going through their entire feed? And it's probably not just listed. There's probably something else in there about the property or a video of you doing something, of them doing something. So find out what these other people are doing really well. Use that as your inspiration, but your voice, do it yourself. Okay. She says here, the beauty of your current situation is that if you aren't sure how to create a story or a post, YouTube has plenty of videos that can help you gather all the information you need. So if you don't know how to do some of these things, YouTube can walk you through it. Okay. So that's what she's talking about, differentiate your account a little bit. The next thing she writes down here is use hashtags. For some of you that are a little bit older, it's the pound sign. Okay. The thing that looks like the pound signal. Use hashtags. So she uses the power of hashtags to grow an Instagram account. You can too. Users often follow certain hashtags related to topics that they're interested in. So by using those same hashtags on your content, you'll help new followers find you organically, and you'll increase the odds that they'll engage with your content. So you can use macro hashtags, which have an even bigger reach, and micro hashtags, which have a smaller reach, to engage your effort. To engage your audience. So, for example, a macro hashtag is something that's been used more than 3 million times. So that would be hashtag real estate, hashtag real estate agent, hashtag realtor, hashtag home buying. Those are macro that everyone in the world might look at. And so you'll utilize that. So in case someone worldwide, or obviously it could be locally, looks up that hashtag, they might find your content. Whereas something like she says, example, Home Sweet Heidi is a micro one that she uses. So it's only something that local people are going to look up because they know her. So if you did something like LA real estate, OC real estate, Los Angeles, Orange County, If you did something very micro, it's only going to be people looking in that particular area. So you need a combination of both. Use the macro hashtags to get a bigger reach, use the micro ones for a more specific location to where you are, but you can do those. And I believe on the post here that you can use up to, I think, 30 hashtags per post. So use a combination of it. She says using multiple hashtags provides the opportunity to find your ideal customers organically. You will use many of these hashtags for almost all your posts. So one of the little tricks that you can use, because you'll use a lot of them for your post, is that you can typically just copy and paste all that. You have a post, you go in, you copy and paste all the copy all the hashtags, and then paste it on your next post. So you don't have to keep typing it out every single time, because you're going to use a lot of them on the same ones. Okay. Then one of the things you can do to make it, if you have a specific property, to make it really easy for clients to find a property online is, let's say that you have a listing at 123 Main Street. You can just put hashtag 123 Main Street on your marketing information. So if somebody's driving by, they go, oh, hashtag 123 Main Street. They can go online and search that hashtag, and they can see all your posts and all your stuff about the property. So that's how you can do it from a micro level as well. Easy marketing stuff. And then they connect with you. All right. So you can do that. So that's a lot of that. So she puts down here, social media is a lot of effort. So if I'm putting in the effort, hashtags are a free way to help my audience find me and our services. If you're not putting it, then it doesn't get exposed the way it's supposed to. All right. All right, the next thing she writes down here on her blueprint is write a powerful first sentence. Write a powerful first sentence. She says Instagram is a platform built on algorithms, so you'll get better results if you prompt people to engage with your content, either by reading, sharing, liking, or commenting on your post. As a first step, you can write a great first sentence and then use a hard return after the opening sentence. Doing this ensures that the only thing people see when scrolling is the first sentence and the more button that reveals the rest of the text on the post. By creating first sentences that entice people to click the more button to read the rest of the post, you will have increased the engagement and moved your post up Instagram's algorithm for more organic promotion. So what she's talking about is when you put a post, you write out the first sentence, whatever that first sentence may be, okay, of your post, and then you hit return. So then there's like a couple, like a gap in between your first sentence and everything else, because then if you're someone scrolling down their feed, if they like your first sentence and they want to read more, they have to click the more button. That means they've now engaged, and according to Instagram's algorithm, your post will be moved up higher because people are engaging with your post simply by clicking the more button. Okay, but you got to have a powerful first sentence. So don't make your first sentence. So I was sitting around thinking yesterday, okay, next, right? It's got to be something really great, something really interesting, something really powerful. So one of the things you can do is, as you're posting things, try to use different sentences on your first sentence and see which posts are getting the most people to click more on, are getting the most engagement. And then you could say, okay, well, this sentence worked, this sentence didn't. So now I know going forward what type of sentences are working for my opening sentences. Okay, it's all about creating that engagement. The next thing she writes down here on her blueprint is post Instagram content consistently. Your goal is to keep yourself and your team in front of people so that when they think of real estate, they'll think of you. I had one friend early in my career that said, gosh, Heidi, I should have used you as my real estate agent, but I forgot that you're in real estate. Never again, she said. How many times does that happen? Forgot that you're in real estate. Now, obviously, we tell you can call and email and things like that. But if you're going to use social media, that's a great way to remind people that you're in real estate, which means that in order to generate business on Instagram, the people on Instagram have to know what? That you're in real estate. Okay. So while yes, hey, I have a personal Instagram account, I want to post myself at the beach, I want to post pictures of my kids and my wife, and I want to do all these other different things, that's fine. But if someone opens your feed and all they see is your personal stuff, they're not going to remember that you're in real estate. So if you're doing this for social purposes, then don't worry about it. Post whatever you want. But if you're trying to gain business or gain engagement from people you know, you have to post real estate stuff more than anything else so they know that you are a real estate agent. Here's also a fun little trick. If you want to get more real estate business, you can't put in your profile that you have other jobs outside of real estate, because we see that all the time. We see people that in their profile says bookkeeper, financial advisor, real estate agent. Which one? Because I'm not going to put my biggest asset in the hands of someone who has real estate agent as their third occupation. So which one are you? Okay. Or, you're posting stuff about how you're doing a notary. Okay, it's great. Are you a notary? Or, what are you doing? Hey, look, first day back at work, and it's you at like some whatever other office. I thought you were a real estate agent. So if you want to engage people as a real estate agent, you have to let them know you're in real estate and only real estate. Otherwise, they're just going to realize that real estate's not your biggest priority and they're not going to get you in business. Okay. She continues on, there are multiple ways to create content on Instagram, including stories, posts, reels, and IGTV. Reels are short videos, and IGTV allows you to post videos longer than 60 seconds. The two basic ways to create engagement on Instagram are through stories and posts. Again, stories only stay on your page for 24 hours unless you put them in your highlights. These are the posts most people do on the fly throughout the day. Think of it as telling the story of your day. So a story, which is what is only on there for 24 hours, think of that as telling the story of your day, because people are they're just going through these rapidly. Okay. The posts are your highlights. These stay on your page forever unless you delete them. So if someone does a deep dive on your page, these posts will give them a better feel for who you are. Make sure the stories on your page are compelling and encourage people to want to follow you. These should be engaging, entertaining, and educational. So your stories, when you're doing a short clip that people can watch for 24 hours, should be engaging, entertaining, educational. Your videos should be entertaining, engaging, educational. You don't have to be, this is a biggie, a professional actor with a professional crew and a professional camera to be engaging, entertaining, and educational. Now, you can't be shaking. You can't have a phone doing the recording and the phone is like this. Okay. You can't like be half in the video, half not. So you have to take it a little bit seriously. But the problem that most people have with this concept of being engaging, entertaining, educational is they think that they need this giant film crew, and that's just not the case. You have to be engaging, you have to be entertaining, educational, which means have some fun and smile, entertaining, fun, smile, energy. Don't be afraid to joke around a little bit. Don't be afraid to laugh a little bit. Educational, give people information that they want to know. Here's a key point on educational. Just because it's basic to you doesn't mean it's not incredibly educational to the outside world. Case in point. As real estate agents, sometimes we think interest rates are what they are. It's interest rates. They go up, they go down. Sometimes it's not that big of a deal because we talk about interest rates all the time. To the outside world, they have no idea how interest rates are affecting things. So may be educational about what's going on with interest rates and how is that affecting the business. We look at the market stats all the time. Yeah, there was 15 new sales. There was 10 new in this particular area. To us, that's just regular education. To the outside consumer, that's amazing information to know because they don't know how many sales were in the area. They don't know how many homes went pending. They don't know how many new listings. They don't know what days on market are. They don't know what the percentage of homes are selling above or below list price. So sometimes the basic stuff to us is incredibly educational and engaging to the outside world. You have to remember that. Okay. So sometimes when you're thinking about, well, what do I post? Post basic stuff. Say basic stuff, because if they're not in real estate, they don't know some of this stuff. Hell, there's a lot of people in real estate that don't know a lot of this stuff, but that's a different topic. We'll get there another day. All right, the last couple parts of her, actually the last part of her blueprint here is build an audience. Build an audience. So she was talking about how she started with virtually no followers and she built up her audience to a current number of 2,853 over several years. To some, that may sound like a lot, and to others, not that many. So 2,853, some of you might have more than that now. Some of you might have two, and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I get 2,853? Well, it takes time. But it's, again, possible. Because to some of you, that might not seem like that many. But if you're engaging correctly and you're doing the right things, more can come from it. So she said the fact that she was able to close $10 million worth of sales directly from Instagram with just 2,850 followers should be encouraging, because with the strategies that she shared, anyone can build their ideal audience. No matter how many people you have following you, start using hashtags and relevant content to generate engagement. You don't have to pursue people. You don't have to pursue people in an attempt to get people to follow you. Add value to your audience authentically, and you can grow your following. Okay. She said that if she had known in 2017 how much money she could make off a free platform and a little bit of effort, her mind would have been blown. Making the effort to do it has changed my life. It has given me more confidence. There's no reason not to do it. Just put forth a little effort every day, and it's social media, so make it social. She wrapped up by saying, whether you're brand new to Instagram or you've been using it for a while, if you adopt these steps for yourself, you'll grow your number of followers and your business will grow along with it. We're in the business to impact people, and Instagram can help us do precisely that. So the basics of this, again, is that you have to start with the profile. Nothing is overly complicated, but you start by building a max profile. You do content constantly. You make the content engaging, interesting, and you have to make it conversational. You have to make it relevant to people. Ask questions. And then when people respond back. Create a conversation with people. Sometimes we miss the leads on social media is when people comment and we don't say anything back. We don't re-engage with them. So when people engage with you, re-engage with them. That's the blueprint that this gal put together on how to build business through Instagram that's helped her do millions of dollars in sales volume over her last few years of her career. Questions on any of that? Keep in mind, if you ask a question, I probably don't know the answer, but you're more than welcome to ask. Nope. All right, cool. Okay, so again, set up some time with Jocelyn so you can meet with her and she can kind of go over some more of these types of things, because this is very helpful. I'll actually put her link in the chat box so you can, if you want her to help you set up Linktree, which is what this gal had talked about, to put as your profile, the link in your profile page, so it has all your different accounts. Jocelyn can help you do that. If you need more tips on starting Instagram, more social media stuff, she can certainly help you out with that and kind of guide you through some of those things. She's done classes on content calendars. So again, any of those types of things, set up some time with her. She'll go through all that with you. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for sticking in there for a topic that I'm not the best at, but I thought it was a good blueprint there for success. All right.